Hey, I think it did it better this time. I don't like the generic screen coming up the first thing that people see.
Hmm.
So,
I wanted to play with
our,
all those. You were late, so I was like, all right, I'm going to play with all this stuff. And then it's not in my portal. I'm like, ah, crap.
I was trying to squeeze in a video really quick. We've been doing so many demos lately. I've kind of gotten streamlined the pitch. Like I can do it in like 5 minutes. And so I'm just going to put one of those on our website so that, maybe people just buy instead of, making me do a live stream with them.
No. Just don't automate your engagements. We ran into
Yeah,
someone that was doing that a while ago, and it's like you book a meeting with them, you join the meeting expecting it to be a person. The meeting starts and a video starts, and you're left there in a Zoom meeting watching a video of someone. And I'm like,
yeah.
wow, that is really the crowning example of a unpersonable engagement.
Yeah. It's like, you could actually like, engage.
Yeah. Talk to someone.
Yeah. What is this crazy talk? Actually,
I don't
like
know. So
treat your clients like a human being.
after raising 4 kids and going through those teenage years and all, I don't know. I guess there's probably a group of younger people right now coming up that would probably appreciate that. But I think for the most part, everyone else in the workforce, at least right now, look, if I'm going to book a meeting with somebody, I want to talk to somebody.
Yeah, and that kind of brings us to our theme this year of this week is this holiday month of like you have like this stress coming up and you're gonna have a lot of like ideas like, ooh, what if I just streamlined all my conversations so I don't even have to be there?
Yeah.
Okay, I get where you're coming from. You're overwhelmed and you've got too many client meetings going on and you just need to get these things done. The checkbox needs a little bit more love than that.
Yeah.
So you're telling me I need to do client QBRs, right? Yes. So I can just record a video and just, hand them a PDF. Technically,
Yeah.
yes. Will it get you more business? No. Will you have done a QBR? Technically.
So, speaking of, the holidays, and it's a really extreme example here, but, we've all been to some sort of Christmas event, some sort of gift opening, right? And people are exchanging gifts. And then there's that one moment where somebody starts opening gifts or, goes around the room or whatever. And some person brought everybody the exact same gift, right? And
hey, it's a gift card. I'll take it.
well, and sometimes if it's something personal, like, you get some, kind of craftsy person and they make something for everybody, that's really appreciated. But when you buy just a grocery store bag of coffee beans for everybody, whether they drink coffee or not, whether they appreciate, it or not, it's just this generic sort of, oh, thanks sort of deal. That goes really flat, and you got to be careful. Don't do that with your clients.
Yeah. So, I create a list of do's and don'ts for the end of the year. And I really wanted to kind of go over that. Like, it's easy to make bad decisions when you're panicking or stressed. So, some of the do's and don'ts was I had schedule meetings. Like, this is something you can easily do. You can schedule meetings for January, February, March. Heck, you can schedule a meeting for June. And that takes things off your table right now. Do you need to do a QBR? Yeah, sure. Schedule for March. Why do you have to have it done today? Well, maybe it's a contract renewal. Okay, in that case, there's some urgency there. However, why not solve problems for your future self? So use this time of year. I think we talked about this in a previous session. It's like, what could you do that's a favor to? What do you wish you would have done this year differently? Okay, make that plan for next year. Next year, I will have my QBRs done by October. And at the end of the year, we tend to panic and try to smoosh everything in because we want to get done before December 31st. So don't overextend yourself and try to smash everything in. Instead, what can you push off to first quarter? Is there some kind of reason why you need to smash it in today? So when you're talking to your clients, you're actually engaging with them in a meaningful way rather than giving them the generic gift.
Yep. And on these meetings, I think, I know I personally fall into this route of I want it to be right. Okay. It took me a long time to understand that doing something and it not being perfect is better than not doing anything at all. Right. So schedule those meetings. Yes, you may have to change that. Yes, you may not know exactly what you're going to do or talk about in those meetings. That's okay. You will get there. So great example, Kent, if you're watching, I'm not really meaning to throw you under the bus, but this week I had someone book a meeting on my calendar for Tuesday. All right, great. We're going to catch up. We got things to do. A little before the meeting, he messaged me and like, nope, I just got dragged into, a dumpster fire, and he rescheduled for yesterday. No problems. We get up to the time, getting close to the time for yesterday. Sure enough, he canceled. He rescheduled for today. All right. And that's okay because we met 45 minutes ago. All right. And we talked and we got things done. We got it on the calendar. Yes, things changed. Yes, there are dumpster fires, but we still had our meeting. We got things done. Yeah. And that's the important takeaway that you need to think about is if I get it out there now, I am 100% more likely to get something done than if I don't do anything at all.
Yeah, making a bad plan is better than no plan. So, when it comes to like meeting, just make sure get something on the calendar. Do your future self a favor. This is going to help you in the holiday season. This should be a planning time of the year. This should be, you got enough stress in your personal life, going to different parties, going to different events, dealing with family. Maybe you overextended your budget this year and you're just trying to make it through the new year.
Yep.
These are things that are stressing you out. Move them into the next years. What can you move on? Don't try to do it all. You should be using this time of year to plan. And that's what I'm saying. Move meetings to next year. Move sessions to next year. Unless it's like a contract renewal, use that.
Yes. Yeah. But a quick note on those meetings, and shameless platform plug here. If you're using our playbooks, there is a calendar little icon there. You can go through and you can put those on the calendar. You can sit down and go, all right, I'm going to do this, and just mow through them all. And you'll be able to see which ones you've done, which ones you haven't done. You can delegate that out. It's really easy to do. But again, the important deal is do it now. However you're going to do it. Send invites out by carrier pigeon. I don't care. Just make sure carrier pigeons might not work. But anyway,
be lazy.
Make sure you get these on the calendar.
Be lazy this month. These next 4 weeks, look at 2024 and say, when am I going to meet with who? And get those things on the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
And you will do better. And you will do yourself a favor. And you can finish this year thinking, oh, good. That's off my plate.
Yes.
And that's how you can de-stress for quarter one. If you try to smash all of your year-end meetings in right now without a plan, you're just going to go and do a bunch of meetings and you're going to be stressed. But if you walk into those meetings with a purpose, with a playbook, like we have our playbooks, get those in place, adjust them for 2024. I think we used to, years ago, we used to walk our members through how to wrap up your year so that you can adjust for the next year. So how to snapshot all of your reports, get your baselines done, and establish the new year. Because what you need to do is you need to fold up 2023 and then say, okay, now how's 2024 going to run? And this is where you adjust your playbooks to what does 24 look like. I just read a report here just a few minutes ago, actually, on how the economy was looking terrible in Q1 last year. We thought we were headed into this big recession.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Q3 report came out, and we're actually growing at a rapid pace, something we have not seen since 2020. And so we're hoping that we're going to accelerate, and all the reports, all the consumer confidence says we're about to have a nice, steady supply in quarter one, quarter two, which means all your clients are going to be seeing that as well. You need to make sure you're getting those meetings on the calendar with them so that you can ride that wave of success.
Yeah.
Right now, everybody's a little bit apprehensive, but they're going to be riding that into quarter one, quarter two next year.
Yep. And I hope I'm not pouring salt in an open wound here with some of you, but if you'll think back to January, February of this year, and you started out with this great idea, this noble initiative of having quarterly reviews with your clients, and you did that. You booked that. You got them on the calendar in January, or maybe it was February. And you're looking back now, and the next quarterly business review that you're going to schedule is going to be an annual, because you did quarter one, but then you missed 2, 3, and 4 you just gave up on because you didn't do 2 and 3. All right. And now you're looking, I got to start this all over again. All right. That's okay. Start again. You can keep starting again, but let's start with the plan that we're going to book these now. I'm not going to go through the whole painful challenge of trying to find the right perfect date like you did last January. No, book a date now. Sort out the details in January. It'll go really easy. And then you'll be able to keep that process going all year long, so that you don't end up in December, November of 2024 going, crap, I've got 1 out of 4 of my QBRs done this year. I did it again. Don't do it again.
Yeah, do yourself a favor. Just get them on the calendar. It's kind of like, it's what I was talking about. People reschedule all the time. But at least if you have it on the calendar, it reminds you to reschedule it.
Yeah.
At least you've got that going for you. Get it on the calendar so you can reschedule. Get it on the calendar. Like if you put something on the calendar 3 months from now, I guarantee you most people's calendars are wide open 3 months from now.
That's right.
Get it on there. Send the invite out. Like, oh yeah, we're going to meet in March. Looks like the economy is doing really well. And I want to make sure I touch base with you to make sure we're getting the right projects so you can take advantage of this burgeoning economy. Mm-hmm. And so that's where it comes to that 2023 roadmap etiquette. People are okay when you create a roadmap, say, hey, we're going to meet the first Tuesday of every quarter. Get those scheduled out now. That's your cadence. Mm-hmm. Everybody's okay with that. So that when you come up to that first Tuesday, it's a week out. You're saying, hey, on our roadmap, we're going to meet and do a Q1 QBR or Q2 QBR. The client goes, hey, I'm a little busy on Tuesday. Can we move to Wednesday? Sure. But guess what? You already have it on the roadmap and you're ready to go. And if you use our CES tool, it'll remind you, hey, make sure you get the Q1 through Q4 QBR sent out via calendar entry. Get those done now. There's nothing saying you can't put a Q1 event on a calendar, a Q4 event on the calendar for next year. There's nothing saying you can't throw it out there for December 15th, 2024. You can put that on somebody's calendar right now.
Yep.
Yeah, Richard Lapek works like a charm.
Yep.
Throwing that one up there.
Oh, there's an amazing word there. Predictable. Easy is great, but man, I like it when things are predictable. All right. Yes. I mean, even if things are going to be really busy and really hard, if I know, I can plan accordingly. So the predictable is actually that's the biggest takeaway for me on that one.
Yeah, and I want you to be predictable as well. And I have a lot of things I hold in my head, which is why on my calendar, like I joke with my family, I joke with our members that if it's on my calendar, I basically follow it. Like, so if you said Adam needs to walk over a cliff on December 15th, like, okay, where's the cliff? I mean, I'll question it when I get there, but it's on the calendar. And we've got some great calendars. We have a very busy family. And so we try to keep on top of things. So if you put it on cozy, it happens. If it's not on cozy, it doesn't happen. That's kind of a rule with our family. And we're a small family. You're dealing with businesses with complex schedules and lots of moving parts. You need to get those things on the calendar with them so that they know what they need to do. And they're going to follow whoever has the best plan. Be that best plan. Be that person who is predictable. I know that I meet with Richard the first Tuesday of every month because he's going to come in. He's going to help me understand where we are and where we're going and what we can take advantage of. This is how you run a professional organization. It also takes a huge burden off of your shoulders. Mm-hmm. You now know what you need to do with who and when, and you can continue working on tickets. You can continue meeting with your team, knowing that your calendar is going to help your client engagement stay on task throughout 2024.
Yep.
So use December to create these playbooks. If you don't know how to create a playbook, reach out to Richard or Skip or one of the team members and have them help you build it. And just click apply. and you're done. And you will have a plan. Now put it on your calendar. Take this, don't just leave it in our software. Put it on your calendar so that you now have a playbook to follow. You know Mondays are busy. You know Tuesdays are busy. Hey, maybe you should hire an account manager to take over some of these meetings for you to free up some of your time. This is going to de-stress you. You have a plan now. It's going to distress your clients. They have a plan now. So that is how I want to, that's my advice for you. Even if you're not an MSP and you're watching this via my LinkedIn feed or something, figure out what your 2024 is going to look like. What are your goals and how are you going to get there? The number one thing I really want everybody in the MSP world to do is start setting goals for years. Like, what does 2024? So if you get to the end of 2024 next year, what would it look like to be successful? So write that down on a piece of paper somewhere. Put it on a piece of paper so that at the end of 2024, when you're feeling bad about yourself, the year didn't go the way you want, look down and say, did I accomplish these? And you can say yes or a no. And if it's yes, okay, how can I improve upon that next year? If it's no, like, okay, why did we miss our goal this year? That's how this works.
And this was a new concept for me. Again, being very technically, driven and for many years just doing the technical route, I solved technical problems. And when I got into management, I was like, wow, one of the things we're really working on is planning. And how do you do that? I don't know. I can't forecast the future, but I can prepare for the future. And I call him out. Dale was the sales director I worked with for many years, and he would do that. He would, at the end of the year, he would spend a lot of time standing in the window of his office, looking out the window. We had a great view of the golf course, great office location there, and he was just pondercating. All right, that was his term for it. And so he's working on this. How are we going to do this? What's this going to come at? And we would launch January with a sales goal. We're going to hit this number. And I'd look at him and go, really? How? How do you know what's going to happen? How do you know what deals or projects or, dumpster fires that are going to come up? And it didn't matter because we got to the end of the year. Every year we were always just some years scary close right on the money. Why? Yeah. Because we had a goal to work towards. And if Dale had just stood in the window and goes, oh, I hope we have a great year next year. All right. No, there's no guarantee. There's nothing to work off of that. You've got to have a goal to plan. And then he would break it down, meet quarterly, meet monthly. How are we doing? And we knew we're off. What do we got to do to get back on track? You got to have something to forecast and drive and work on. Yep.
You guys are engineers. Most of the people watching this are engineers. You have to have a direction. You have to know what problem you're trying to solve. Yes, you can go into a network and you can continually clean up tables and you can clean up network cables. But if the business isn't running, why are you cleaning up all that stuff?
Yeah.
You got to step back and think, where am I going with this? Eventually, I'm going to move this switch stack over to another floor. Okay, I need to get that in place. I need to start working on that migration plan so that I can get over there eventually. Your business is the same way. Where are you going as a company so that along the way, you can solve these problems? Along the way, you are now responsible for solving and getting there. But if you sit there and just keep working on your operations every day, you're constantly going to be in a fire. You're constantly going to be behind the gun. And it's a frustrating place to be because you're like, man, I never make any headway. It's because you don't have a goal. So set out a plan right now. This is December. Use that time to set the plan. Use that time to de-stress and think clearly. You will not create a good plan if you're hyper stressed. Find a way to relax every day and create a plan. For some of you, creating the plan will de-stress you. Now you'll feel like you have a way to move forward. That hopelessness will paralyze you. So create the plan.
Well, and let me do this.
Try to smoosh everything into the end of the year here, and then roadmap things out through 2024 so you can blindly follow this. If you guys watch these updates, we do the same playlist every year with a few tweaks. I don't have to think about what I'm going to talk about every week. Oh yeah, this is the time of year when we talk about how to relax in December. That's how I know what topic to talk about now. I copied and pasted it from our events calendar.
Yep.
You can do the same thing with your MSP.
Well, let me add
Final
this.
thoughts, Skip?
Well, yeah. So right now you're at the end of 2023. We're wrapping things up. Was this a successful year? Was it not a very successful year? All right. Most of us at this point, we can say yes or no to that. But can you define why it was not successful or why it was successful? And those reasonings, were they in your control? All right. Or were you just, did 2023 end up being a great year, but you just got lucky? I mean, it just happened. Something fell into your lap. Are you really going to count on that for your success next year? Or would you rather take it by the horns and manage your own destiny kind of thing? So evaluate what you're doing right now. Why did it go well? Why did it not go so well? And use that to make your plan for next year.
Yep. Build the plan, work the plan. But if you have no plan, you'll aim at nothing. You're at the whims of fate if you do not have a plan. Whatever bad wind comes your way, whatever good wind comes your way, sometimes you'll get lucky, sometimes you won't. So if you have a plan, work the plan, adjust the plan. It'd be the only thing I would add to that.
That's it. No. Make the plan, work the plan, review the plan.
Review the plan. Yep. Use that to de-stress this year. If I had to give you one takeaway here, is build a plan for 2024. Make it span the year. Do it while you're relaxed. Do it like first thing in the morning at some point in which your brain is relaxed. Do whatever it takes you to relax for the day, like have a cigar, go fishing for a couple hours, do a round of golf. At the end of that, plan your next year and say, how do I want next year to look? And at the end of next year, review and make a new one for 2025.
Roll it out again.
Yep. All right, everyone. This was a great conversation. I know we're coming up on the end of the year. We'll be doing our crystal ball episode soon to talk about what do we think 2024 is going to look like, things you need to talk to your clients about, as well as, just some all-around fun for the holiday season.
All right.
So we'll see you guys all next week as we kick off December. Thank you. Oh.